How's life? Today we have an amazing lady with us, Patricia García Rodríguez, who is one of the most amazing figures in female rugby in the world. This lady is Spanish, and she has been part and is part of the Spanish rugby team, and they have won the European Championship in 2010. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Now, one of the wonderful things about rugby that I knew nothing about until I met Patricia is how rugby is about doing things properly, about strength, about democracy, about decency and all of these things. Could you tell us a little bit about the spirit of rugby?
Yeah, I think the values of the sport in rugby, they are absolutely the most important for us. So the game is really passionate. Is like you said, intensity is. There are some hits and some contacts, but also the most important is the ambience of the team and the society that we grow inside the team. So these values like teamwork, like camaraderie, like respect to the referee, to the law, to the opposite. It's something like.
So you can't have a tantrum with the referee if the referee says something you don't like. Not even the public, right?
Yeah, that's it. We don't like that. That's not rugby. Can happens, but that's not rugby. Like for us, the referee says something. The referee is a person. He can or she can also have a mistake in the refereeing. But it's what he said is their role to manage the game and put the laws into the game, no? So if he said something, that's what it is. So you don't complain. You don't complain. Just the captain.
You don't complain.
No, not at all.
Rugby players don't complain about anything.
Not inside the game.
Not inside the game.
You respect the figure of the referee and their function on the game of the rugby.
Yes, they say that in certain sports people pretend to be hurt, but in rugby people pretend not to be hurt.
Yeah,
Like sort of, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
and not really fine.
That's
Look at you.
exactly.
What happened to your arm?
Well, I get injured in the last World Series, 7th Series in Sao Paulo, and it was, I don't know, it was be like a hit or something, because I can't remember exactly how was it, but was exactly the same, I think it's just a hit, I think I'm fine, and 2 minutes later I wasn't. So
you weren't fine.
Yeah, just a fracture of my bone. But.
Oh, okay, so you broke your arm. I see.
This bone here on my hand, but we'll be fine soon. And
you take these things with marvelous philosophy. I'm always interested in your philosophy of life because you sound awfully zen to me. You sound like you're a Buddhist, like you're very, contained and concentrated in acceptance. You do accept a lot. How do you accept this whole process of being wounded and then working hard and then trying to make it? How do you do that? It's very difficult.
Well, I think there are things that you cannot control. It's not up inside your control, so you can manage just to accept these things or go away or accept them, no? Yeah. But there are other things that you can control, and you can make some things to make things happen. So that's the difference. So an injury like this one, I couldn't control anything about that. But what I can control at the moment is my recovery, to do it properly, to train what I can train and not just sit into the sofa because I'm injured. No, I can do a lot of things, even if I can't move my hand. And it's pretty important to have new goals in different contexts, in different situations. So when in a row something happens, I get injured. My life is sport, but I can do a lot of things, and I will come pretty soon, as soon as possible, to compete and do my sport again. But life doesn't stop. You just train or change the things that you do.
You're so concentrated on the process. This is one of the paradoxes of life that creates so many addictions with people who cannot accept the process. It's quite amazing how well you take in and you concentrate on what you can do instead of what you can't do. I've always thought that what they say at Alcoholics Anonymous is beautiful, because they say, let me have the strength to change what I can, the patience to accept what I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. And you've just given me that formula from rugby. My goodness, you guys are psychotherapists, I think. You're really good at that. Going into rugby and what rugby is doing for the world and its wonderful, wonderful values. What happened at Santa Teresa? Because you gave me this wonderful anecdote about these kids who stole something at this factory that makes rum, is that right?
Yes.
And the head of the factory was a man from the world of rugby, and he offered them an alternative to prison. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing story that happened in South America, and this business get really famous because of that, because what he shows to the world is that to make something bad is not just so you have to get pain for that.
Yes,
so
you don't have to go to prison only.
Yeah,
you don't have to get a punishment.
Punishment. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so. But there is other ways to get you into the society, into the good way of to do the things in the education. So what he said is like, you can come and work for our factory, and like that you will give back what you stole. This is like a way to reinsert people into society. And they become a really good team. They play rugby now. All these people that stole the factory, now they play rugby. They are a really good team. And it's like a new way to offer to all these people that they don't have opportunities overseas of normal life, you can say. So they can come to the factory, work for the factory, and learn about the rugby values, a way to educate and a way to life.
Isn't that marvelous? Because some people feel life through body movement and impact, because you're used to it. It's also part of your nature. Some people feel life through music, perhaps, or through the intellect, or through poetry. But if you're a kinetic person, if you feel really alive and passionate, and that's what you look like when you're playing rugby, that's what you look like, that's what you transmit. When I see you playing rugby, it's just so beautiful. It's a show. And I get into the same mood you're in, because I can see you running and breathing and thinking and controlling the ball and controlling the people. It's just amazing. It really makes, I can see you're really alive when you're playing rugby. And some people are like you. They're more kinetic people. They feel really in touch with life when they're moving and when they're sweating and when they're really in contact with their physical person. And perhaps this is one of the best things you can do for other people who are also feeling alive like that with their bodies a lot. And then you have all this beautiful philosophy of honor and rules and feeling alive through the body, but with rules instead of through crime.
Yeah.
So they must feel very alive with that. It must be a very good language to communicate.
Yeah, I think like rugby is one of the things that this sport has. Is an opportunity not just to play a game. It's just to take the best of the sport, of the ambience, of the philosophy, and make it into your life. So all the values that we said, all the philosophy, is something that gives you this opportunity to make part of that. So I think that's amazing for my sport. That's what I like even the most. So,
yes. So it's really a lifestyle. It's
yes.
a whole lifestyle.
Yes.
Can I be very impertinent? I'm sorry. I am 51 years old. You're a young lady, a woman. And in my generation, there were no female taxi drivers, and definitely no female rugby players that I know of. Is it difficult for a woman to be in the rugby world today?
Well, I think that especially in Spain, at the moment, which is my country, we have difference in the society culture about women's, men, and women's sports, men's sport, but not just in sport, like in a lot of things of the culture, like ways to dress, like ways to behave. So I think that's part of the education of a society. So absolutely takes part of rugby players. But I just think that that's because of the culture of the society I had the opportunity to fly overseas and see that doesn't happen everywhere, or there are maybe different habits or different cultures that show you that rugby is not a woman's or a men's sport. It's just a sport, and you are a woman or man, you can practice. You are young or you are old, you can practice.
What I think is very useful of your example in life is that you have broken many rules from your society, but you're not a person without rules. It's very clear that you have solid values, that you are very disciplined, and that you know exactly how you want to live. You're part of society, but you've broken many of the prejudiced ideas of your society. I guess it's been difficult socially for people, since you've grown up, for a lady to become a rugby player and be a professional sports person, because that's another thing of prejudice. Many people think that sports is something you cannot live from, that sports is just a hobby for weekends or something like that. It must have been difficult to transmit that.
Yeah. Well, I said to myself one day, like, I'm gonna die. One day I'm gonna die. So why not try to live as possible, like as close to my best, to the person that I wanna be or the person that I think I am. So that's when you begin to broke. I began to broke all my laws, all the society habits or ways to behave, and that was the way when I began to play rugby like it is like in my house. That was a problem in the beginning, but I know that that was what I wanted to do, because I get in love into the rugby. With the rugby values, with the rugby society, and here in my house there is no one know about rugby, and they just think that it's like an impact sport or something dangerous, something not good.
Yes.
That was one of the beginning, you know, like I say, okay, every time I'm in a problem with my feelings, like I'm thinking I want to do that, I want to be like that, but society or other person thinks like that. Well, doesn't have to make pain to anyone, but if it's myself, I am gonna say, okay, you are gonna die, Patricia, so do exactly what you are, what is your passion, what really you wanna do. And it's like that, like I begin to grow this lifestyle. But like you said, that doesn't mean that you don't have any law or any rule in your life. That just means that you are gonna find what you really want to find, your dreams, your goals, your objectives, and your ones, not the ones that society says that should be like that.
That's magnificent. And it's very difficult at times. It's really hard to be yourself at times. It reminds me of that poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. And there's a part where he says, if you can keep your head when all around you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, you will be a man, my son. And in this case, you will be a real lady. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about the beautiful objects we have here? Could you tell us a bit about that rugby ball?
Yeah, this is rugby ball. This is my first rugby ball of the national team. So that was on 2010 when we were champion of Europe.
Yes.
And each girl on the team had a ball, and we have to really take care of the ball. So that's why it's all painting with my favorite sentence at the moment, with values like passion, like overcoming, cooperation.
Yes.
And for me, it's a really special ball for that, no? And liberty, what I put on that day. For me, rugby is also like a way to express yourself, and I think that it has to be like that. So that's pretty important for me. Then, well, we have this T-shirt. Is my T-shirt of 2013 World Cup, Rugby Sevens World Cup, and it's special because first it's my first World Cup at rugby, but also because I miss a kick really important with this T-shirt. We were playing for the third and fourth position on the World Cup. I had the opportunity after we scored a try to transform, so it will take like 2 more points for my team, and probably we will win that game because it was pretty close to the final of the game, and I miss it. It was really it was in the middle of the post. I have to say, like, the pitch was not good, but doesn't matter. I missed that kick.
And you framed it.
Yes, I framed it.
You are so courageous.
It's something that I have to remember for every day. I go training after that and go do my kickings, and it's a motivation, an extra motivation to have such an opportunity to learn about this experience at that moment. I think it's important for me just to fail at that important moment of my life to become better after, or to become more perseverance later. Yeah.
So you're using your failures as an inspiration instead of qualifying them as a mistake. You say, okay, as Rilke the poet said, make your wall your step, and you've used this difficulty, this failure, to try harder, to be stronger, and you're proud of it.
I think that's the way.
Yes, you're proud of your failures. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the way to learn, to educate. I think that's the way to grow, to be. I don't know. I think that's just a way.
Yeah.
And the last one is it was just like commemoration of the player in tournament in Rarotonga, Cook Islands. Not just because of that. It's because what happened that week. For me, that's important because. What we give to this team, what we give to that girls, when I talk about we, it's like the captain of Waikato team when I was playing New Zealand this season. So she, another player of Black Ferns of New Zealand national team of rugby came, and we were 3 girls that we went to Cook Islands to help to develop women's rugby there. And we were like in an amazing week helping the girls, and they were helping us a lot of too, showing their culture, showing their society, their way to live, and we were trying to share our experience in rugby. So it's not what it represents exactly what it is about the player, about the game, that it was a good tournament for me, but it's all the whole week and the whole process that we could live there. So rugby gives me these opportunities of life, which is amazing.
I think you have always proven that authenticity and commitment are the best way to be around people. And I think that anything you would do it exactly like you play rugby. Thank you so much for your example. It's a true inspiration for everybody who's trying to lead an authentic lifestyle. Thank you very much.
Thank you.